Yo, what's up everybody? Hold on, nice with you here. Bringing you Fire Force anime review. This is episode 6 titled The Spark of Promise. This was a very good episode. Again, I can't stress enough the artwork, the animation, the fluidity of the movements, the voice acting, everything in this anime and Dr. Stone get nothing but A's. Like, they do everything good. Especially the story of this. We finally get the story of the sister's background and why Princess Hibana, why she is the way she is, which this does play in real life as well. Basically, the reason why she doesn't believe in God or heroes is because of the situation they were in as little girls, as nuns in the school. She states to Iris that out of all the sisters, I was the weakest one. I was just there for being there because I had nowhere to go, and I didn't really care much for like nunhood or God or any of that. But though these nuns who dedicated everything they have to God, who really did love Him and believe in Him, they all burnt to crisp. But yet I, a non-believer, or I guess you could say in the middle mixed person, she was like, but though yeah, I get to live, and I didn't just get to live, I also was able to get stronger through that and have this weird demonic power that I despise and hate. And that's basically what made her go nuts. And I don't really like talking about religion much on the channel, but me being a religious person myself, it is kind of hard sometimes for certain people when you have like bad life experiences, especially if it's like really bad ones, like people who've been abused by their parents, raped, molested, and all that. It's kind of hard to believe in a God when you see all the evil that's going around. But the best way I can put this, and this may not be, I know some people may not like how I'm gonna say this, but basically, you can't believe or not want to believe in somebody just because that person didn't get to help you. I mean, we are our own people with our own freedom of choice, and we all make different choices, and sometimes those choices come back and bite us, and sometimes those choices could be even deadly towards other people and can end up hurting other people. And in this case and scenario, that's technically the gist of what happened. I mean, she even said herself, Princess Hibana, that her own power betrayed her. So I'm not sure if she meant that these people got burned to a crisp because her power went against her and burned her, or did somebody else attack, like what happened to Shinra and his family. But as she's sitting this to Iris, of course Shin busts through the room and they start their fight. And Shin having a really difficult time because her power is basically with her eyes, as you can tell with those clover eyes. She looks at you and she manipulates your heat wave or the temperature of your body. And when she does that, she can mess with it to either increase it to get you very dizzy and tired, or decrease it to make you mellow out and go to sleep. So depending on her mood, she could do different things with it. And she made Shinra really dizzy, and it was hard for him to fight back and whatever. But no matter how many times she beat him up, slapped him around, he got back up over and over, and even in state. Compared to the training I did with Lieutenant, this is nothing. And she used this beautiful technique called Sakura Flames. And I have to say right now, if Yoruichi and Captain 12 Byakuya from Bleach, if they had a child, that's technically what Hinaba would basically be, because her flames basically create flower petals, and with these petals she can either cut you in pieces or she can slap you with them so they can combust into flames. So Shinra was having a really hard time, but eventually he was able to get through the hypnosis and control himself, and he was able to power up and land a hit on her. And that's actually all it took. And then we got her flashback, and we saw everything that occurred, and how she was a sweet little girl and she was always helping the other sisters, even though she wasn't really into it, but she was there, so she helped out. And it's just a really sad backstory that someone as young as them shouldn't have gone through. I mean, no one, regardless of age, should have gone through that, but especially the kids, because they're more sensible at that age and they're not really responsible. So when they go through situations and trials like that, it's kind of hard for them to start believing in people and believing in heroes and God and all that, when they see nothing but destruction as a kid, or they've been through nothing but trials and beatings. So it's like it's hard for people in that area to really believe in other people because of how much they've been hurt themselves by people. So it's a realistic thing, and it's a really a sad thing at that. But in the end of the episode, Shinra was actually able to get her respect, and it actually goes beyond that. Shinra didn't just get her respect. She even said herself that she's interested in Shinra, and her eyes go from like those little four-leaf clovers to hearts. And I'm like, oh boy, Shinra got his first love interest, and he was shocked. He was like, wait, what? And Erin, the sister Iris, she was shocked. She was like, she went black and white. She was like, wait, what? So it was really, really funny. But they came up with this idea to lie to the higher ups and tell them this was all training and practice and this was planned. We didn't cause a fight between each other, you know, to like a cover-up story. And it's funny because while this is going on, you have Captain Obi preparing all his weapons and stuff and drinking liquor, and then he calls up Lieutenant. He's like, yo, I got all my equipment ready. I'm about to head out. And this is when he get the bad news that everything is already done and settled thanks to Shinra. And he was like, he was just left there frozen. And it was like, poor Obi, you're the captain, but you really ain't get to do much this episode or these two recent episodes. So it was really funny in the end. It was like, after all the build up and hype and the battle that we had for like the first 20 minutes, it was like the last 3 minutes, they had to make up and put some funny stuff in there. Of course, it's Soul Eater. Soul Eater was meant for known to mixing different religions and in anime while also being comedic but serious at the same time and going back and forth. And this is the same creators of Soul Eater, so it makes sense. But again, I can't stress enough the techniques, the voice acting, the artwork and animation, the fluidity, the opening and endings, songs, the themes, all that good stuff is just straight up AA+. I'm not gonna say it's legendary. I'm not gonna put it up there with the Naruto's, the Bleach, the One Piece, the Hunter x Hunters, the Berserk. I'm not gonna put it up there yet. But if it keeps going this way, believe me, it's gonna eventually get up there to that potential. Just like how Soul Eater is considered one of the greatest. So, and Soul Eater has a really, really huge fan base. So I'm expecting great things as a Soul Eater fan as well for this anime. And I do read the manga. Sadly, I don't review it because I'm kind of busy with other things that I review and I have too much to do. So sadly, I don't get the chance to review it. But I do get to review the episodes and I do read the manga. So take my word for it. It does get very, very interesting and better after this. But yeah, this was a great episode. The fight was simple, but it was heartwarming and you felt the impact. You felt the emotion, and again, it was a real life situation of people burning and, you know, believing in something, and then the person you believe in didn't come up to help. So it's like your belief is kind of filtering, and it does happen in real life. It's a sad thing, but it does happen with certain people. But that's all I have for you. Let me know down below what you like and didn't like about the episode. How do you feel about Princess Hibana? How she's now madly in love with Shinra. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I'll be honest, I support it. I ship hard Shinra and Hibana. I ship them really, really hard. So, but at the same time, there's a lot of people who ship in Iris and Shinra, but I don't really see that ship going nowhere. But yeah, it gets better from here. Believe me. Not just their relationship and the shipment between them, you know, Princess Hibana and Shinra, but the episode as a whole, and the series, I mean, as a whole, and the things to come, it gets really, really good. But that's all I have for you. Peace out, have a good one.